This video is for any dungeon master that has ever had a moment at their table where it just looks like nobody's really having fun and you're not really sure what to do to inject energy back into it. Dice Whisperer had a very similar situation that they talked about recently here on TikTok, where their party didn't really strategize enough, and in a combat where they only had a certain amount of time to get to their objective, the party kind of just broke down, and the players themselves were feeling really bored because it felt like a foregone conclusion that they just weren't going to be able to get through it. And I think in her video, she had a lot of really good ideas, talking through this. What could she have done? What might she be able to do next time? I think is a very important part of being a dungeon master and being able to recognize when maybe you could have done something to have helped reinvigorate or re-energize the scene. There are two big lessons that I think a lot of dungeon masters could take to heart and try to implement a bit more. The first is to don't be afraid to talk to your players about what they could do or what they could have done better. If you feel like your party needs to strategize more, it's fine to tell the players that. Sometimes we get so stuck in the idea of, as players, we have to stay in character, and as the dungeon master, we have to stay removed from what it is that they're doing. But we're telling a collaborative story here, so it's okay to sit down after or before the game that we're playing and let them know, hey, last week you guys had some trouble, and I've noticed this before in combat, none of you really worked together or strategized together very well or very often. It's okay during combat to either out of character or in character talk about, hey, what could I do, guys? I'm not really sure what I should do here. Does anyone have any suggestions? Like, the other big lesson that I think all dungeon masters need to understand is that, don't take this the wrong way, it's going to sound like weird, but the rules don't apply to you. What I mean by that is that our number one jobs as dungeon masters is to make sure everyone at the table is having fun. If you're in combat, even though you planned out that there's this one boss and these 4 minions, if it looks like the players are rolling over the combat, not because of strategy, not because they've done anything differently, but just maybe the balance was a little bit off and it's a little bit easier than you thought it would be. It's okay to add more monsters to that fight, even if you didn't intend that they were first there. It's a problem I used to have where I felt like once the session started, whatever I planned, I had to stick to that or I was cheating somehow. But as a dungeon master, if people at your table aren't having fun, then nothing in the rule book, nothing within the rules is worth sticking to it just for the sake of the rules. Do whatever it is you have to do to make combat interesting.